How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I'm going to explain how anyone can unlock 99 overall Ted Williams without spending money, and you can do this over the next 20 days probably without a problem. So let's go ahead and get right into it. And when I say the next 20 days, it's probably more like the next 26 days or so. And that'll have to factor in some of the time that you have to wait if you're able to do exactly what I'm saying in this video. I thought about playing with this 99 overall Ted Williams, but I figured I would just explain to everyone how anyone could get this card for free just by simply playing the game. Now, I'm obviously implying that you already have the game and that you've been playing somewhat throughout the game cycle and that you have a team. For this method, you'll actually need two teams. One more of a power hitting team, as you saw in the first screenshot, and the second one being more of a speed and bunting team for Diamond Quest. Now, I would never use this team online, just to mention that, but you can see that I have them at Parallel 4 or Parallel 5, so I've used this team quite a bit. So I wanted to just explain that I only use this for one game out of the Diamond Quest method. I've made a video on that. I'll link that video in the comment section down below. If you don't have Ozzie Smith, then you want to get this Garrett Hampson. Ozzie Smith was like a XP reward path card or something like that, so you can't really get him anymore. But I'm going to be using the new Diamond Quest method for this. And the reason why I say you have about 20 to 26 days for this method is because what you want to do is build up your stub count as high as you possibly can by beating this Diamond Quest method. Obviously, if you don't have that team I mentioned, it might take you a little bit of time to build that team. You need a few players for Pete Crow Armstrong. He's probably the best one out of the entire list. And then there's a few cards where you need collections, like John Donaldson. You also need Jackie Robinson for that, so that will certainly help you. But you're just going to go through this exact path of Diamond Quest, and along this way, right, you're using your power hitting team. I'm going to show you that here in the next clip or whatever, where I have to score a run. I'm just going to use Ted Williams. This is him right here. Here's some gameplay. No, it's on veteran difficulty or whatever, but as you can see, I'm just kind of quickly going through these missions. They don't take very long at all. They're very, very fast, at least for this brand new Diamond Quest as well. The other one I was doing was the White Sox one for, I guess, Jim Thome. So that was the other one I was going for, but he's a lot cheaper than the Sonny Gray. If you're trying to think about, like, how would I be able to do this and earn Ted Williams? Basically, I clipped all this stuff within 30 minutes. So within 30 minutes, I was able to earn about 30K stubs, which means I was able to earn 60,000 stubs per hour. Now, if you're able to do this 4 times per day and get the rewards, right? You all obviously have to get the rewards, but you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm going into the Diamond Quest mode. I'm going to drag bunt, right? I'm going to drag bunt. But if you're able to beat this thing and get, 60,000 per hour and do this 4 times per day, and you do this 20 times, I just double checked the calculations, and you'd be at 2.4 million stubs. Right now, I'm using 60,000 times 2, right? Because if I'm doing this 4 times, it would take me 30 minutes each. That's 2 hours, and then I'm multiplying that by 20 days leading up to Weekend Classic. The reason why I'm saying Weekend Classic is because that is an opportunity to multiply your stub count. I'll explain that in a little bit. But some strategies to beat this Diamond Quest on GOAT difficulty. And as you can see, I'm only going into this mode with 82% chance to get the rewards. So I might have to do this 5 times in a day to get the rewards 4 times. But that's still going to give me 120,000 stubs every time. But with that being said, this card could drop in price as well. So if you factor in that the card could drop down to 20,000 or less, then you're going to have to do this a little bit more, and the math would change, obviously. But in order to get this method down, the best way to do it would be to drag bunt to the second baseman by moving your left stick to the right. You could kind of see that I did that with my PCA to start the game. And now I'm just really looking to steal. I completed the process once with PCA already. Now I'm trying to do it with Carlos Beltran. I actually had a pretty good opportunity work out, right? Hit a slow roller to the third baseman, and it took him forever to kind of get the animation and throw it home. I was safe at both places. That will happen quite a bit. There will also be situations where you'll hit a slow roller to the third baseman or whatever, and the guy will just dive back to third base. I'll show you that in this one as well. I tried to just get a couple different clips. In the previous video that I did this, I've made a video once before talking about this. They have, quote-unquote, patched this method, but there's no real way to patch this, right? Especially because they would have to recode the way that their defenders I guess, run and animate with urgency. It's just not that well. I would say it's not made that well. And that's probably why you're able to do this very consistently. You can kind of mess around with the opponent here. Obviously, it's the computer. But if I was able to get a hit and run going, sometimes I can pull that third baseman to third base and hit it right where he would be. Sometimes you can put a drag bunt down when you have a guy on second base and steal with him. And you can score from second base on a drag bunt if you're able to get it down. But that obviously gives you more risk for a double play if you're stealing. So once I get a couple runs, I'm looking to be a little bit more aggressive. I really just need about 2 or 3 runs. In this method right here, I'm actually going to throw a perfect game on GOAT difficulty against the Cardinals here. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. I'm not even using really the best pitchers. Yeah, sure, some of the guys that I have are really expensive, like Darren O'Day and some of those other guys. But I'm also using like John Franco, Aroldis Chapman. You can use gold cards. I really think the most important thing is high hits per 9, high clutch, and you really need good control on your pitchers. It doesn't matter if you have outlier, because the computer doesn't care if you have outlier or not, right? You could throw a guy like Greg Maddux. As long as you're getting a lot of 100% on your pitches, you're more likely to get outs. You're more likely to get weak contact. You got to pitch to the matchups, right? Obviously, I'm tired here with Darren O'Day. Darren O'Day is in the yellow, and I don't want to pitch to anybody but Nolan Arenado right here. If I don't get Nolan Arenado, and I'm even being careful, he's the worst hitter on their team, but I don't really want to give up anything to him. So now I have 2 lefties, or 2 guys that have worse attributes, I would say, against lefties. I don't care if he has a little bit more contact. I just want to avoid the power. I'm going to bring in a starter to try and face multiple batters without going into the yellow. There's a lot of different things you can do here. Obviously, I'm getting on base again with Pete Crow. That's why I say he's the best one for this. If you have to collect those egg cards, it's worth it. Get Rod Carew because he also can bunt. He's a fast first baseman, and he has really good contact and clutch. So that way he kind of just floats the ball in over the infielders' heads when they bring the infielders in when you have a runner on third with less than 2 outs. So I have built this team specifically to beat the coding of the computer on GOAT difficulty, and I've done this hundreds of times. But you don't necessarily have to, build up your stub count to 4 million stubs by doing this. You want to build up your stub count to right around 1 million, 1.6 million. That's kind of the sweet spot. If you do this 4 times per day, and you're able to get about 40,000 stubs per hour, let's just say 40,000 stubs per hour, or maybe even 30,000 stubs per hour, that would put you at about 1.3 to 1.6 million if you do this 4 times per day leading up to Weekend Classic, right? And the reason why I'm saying Weekend Classic is really important is because that's an opportunity where we have like limited time cards. The last time around, I bought 90 Ryan Sandbergs, and I was able to flip those and make double the profit. So I put about 400 and something thousand in, and I was able to make about 400 something thousand profit and buy a bunch of these cards that I needed that actually ended up going up in price anyway for Ted Williams. So the reason why I'm kind of breaking all this down is because, well, number one, I'm a math teacher, and it's very simple to me to explain all this, to understand it. For me, in unlocking Carlos Beltran, if you go back to the videos where there was another flash sale, and I'll link a couple videos in the comment section down below, but I had about 1.6 million stubs, exactly what I'm talking about, and I was able to use the flash sale to buy some live series cards, work my way towards Carlos Beltran while making a profit, turned around, completed all the collections since doing that with all the brand new programs and all the brand new content while playing Diamond Quest, and I guess using Weekend Classic this most recent time around to double or triple the stub count even further. I've used Satchel Paige for this type of method, but the reason why I'm saying this is because most people, maybe some people that are watching this video, are all the way down here in the rankings. I'm not really thinking so, though. If you're going to beat this method, you're probably going to need to be, like at least a 600 rated player to beat GOAT difficulty against the computer. But I would say you have some time. You have 20 days to get as many stubs as possible, because you're going to want to buy these Grady Sizemores and Devin Williams cards when they are re-released into the Rewind pack for Weekend Classic. They did the same thing with Corey Kluber and Carlos Correa. We just most recently saw it with Giancarlo Stanton, as well as Ryan Sandberg. Ryan Sandberg is currently the most expensive one because he's a second half card, and just based on the stats within the game, I think he was the least picked, or I guess the least used. I will show you exactly what I'm talking about and how I got that information. But as you can see here, and this picture was, I would say, as his price was also going up at the end of Weekend Classic, he was even 5,000 to 6,000. And I noticed, like, hey, there was only about 16,000 Ryan Sandbergs at green parallel 1. Now, this isn't the best number to use because people could draft this card in BR and use this card in BR without even having him. But I just thought that number was pretty low for that card being in a Weekend Classic Rewind pack. Now, as you can see from the graphs and stuff, right? I'm a math teacher. I like these graphs. But you can see that the card dropped way down in price, went up. I did the same type of thing with Satchel Paige. Satchel Paige is one card to keep in mind. Martin DeHigo is another one. This Josh Gibson card has fluctuated quite a bit, fluctuates all the time. It was a program boss earlier on. You don't want to buy this card during Weekend Classic, though. You want to buy the Weekend Classic rewards during that time. You want to buy these types of cards during the flash sales. When there's a flash sale, cards that you can no longer obtain will drop way down in price. Obviously, the cards they put in the flash sale packs will also drop down. You can buy these, like the 20th anniversary cards, as well as these legend packs. I have a feeling there's a flash sale coming soon, so that's why I was talking about that. I actually talked about it in my prediction video for Ted Williams. But the main thing to keep in mind is that there are tons of opportunities to double or triple your stub count. As long as you know what cards to buy, as long as you know what's happening in MLB The Show, if you use the schedules, if you use that stuff, next week the multiplayer program is going to drop. We got cards like Jonah Heim and Luis Rengifo and Andre Dawson even. Those cards are like 80 to 100,000 stubs right now. Those cards are going to be in the Battle Royale Rewind packs that everybody's unlocking, and they're going to drop down to like 10,000 stubs or less, maybe like 7,000. We got cards like George Springer and Pedro Martinez going for like 50K stubs right now. Those cards are going to tank in price next week when the World Series Rewind packs are released. I could make 10 videos about that, and the cards are still going to be at the current price. Like, they're still going to be inflated. People don't know what's happening in the Diamond Dynasty game mode, and you can take advantage of that. You can make a lot of stubs based off of timing in this game. I've been doing it for, 8 years now. There have been years where I've put money into the game. There's other years where I decide, I'm not going to spend any money. This year, I put $50 in, probably spent less money than most people watching the video did just by buying the game, right? The developers sent me the game. I get it for free, so I'm fortunate, I'm lucky. But I probably put less money in than the people telling me, I'll never get this Ted Williams card. That's not true, man. That is not true. If you know what you're doing, if you plan step by step on what to do, you have 19 days, 5 hours, right? 19 days, 5 hours from when I'm recording this, and hopefully I was able to help you out. You can get any card in the game with this team right here on the screen. It's kind of crazy to say, but I've been able to do it. So until next time, I'm College Lefty, and I'm also not that good at the game. You're probably better than me. Peace out.